because our next presentation is arguably one of the most artistic presentations I've seen. It's very, very artistic because she is an artist. She is a beautiful, eloquent artist. And it's interesting because so we have something called the Line Team. How many of us here have heard of the Line Team before? So we have a community. And I went to this office building for a potential location for our office, for the Lions to have our place to gather. And the owner of the building was a really, really amazing guy. And then she was actually there working. She pops out, she's like, hey, how's it going? I'm Shanelle. I'm like, you a lioness. I knew it. I was like, she's a lioness. And staying in touch, here we are over a year or so later. And now she's a full-on artist. She's changing lives. She's helping us doodle better. Think about that, doodle better. And so, without further ado, we bring up the pure angel artist, Shanelle Powell.
Thank you. All right, so this is me when I was 2 years old. You're looking at a future artist, and it's fitting that I'm wearing a Crayola shirt. And you're looking at the future founder of Art Worth Sharing. It is an art club that helps bring out dormant creativity in people. But as early as this, I've had problems to express myself with words. My mother said I was 3 before I was even formulating sentences very well. Before then, all I could say was hi. And, we would go to the park a lot, and I would look out there and see my friends. And so I would say, see the kids? See the kids? But that was it. Hi and see the kids. So it actually is another fun fact that I started out as a lefty, picking up crayons and pens and things with my left hand, and my mom, she would always just take it out of my left hand, put it in my right hand. And so in doing so, she kind of scrambled some things. Like, I started out as a right brain thinker, right? And then she kind of forced me to be a left brain thinker. And so both of those sides of the brains control speech in different ways. And so it would be really hard for me, like you said, to express when I wanted to say things, because there would just be so much going on. So my mom would say, stop and think about what you're trying to say. And then she kind of was my speech pathologist, if you will. So I basically found out that being quiet, using words less, allowed me to naturally tap in to something called a visual language. And it was existing in my world. How I became a doodler is easy. I used to have this for my school supplies. It's by an illustrator named Lisa Frank. How many of you remember Lisa Frank? You're women, right? Then if you're a girl, everybody had this at the first day of school. It was like the coolest art supplies you can have. And so while my teacher was speaking in front of the class, I was drawing dolphins and puppies and things like that in my spiral notebook. It was all the craze. And I wanted to learn how to draw like that. And so all the margins, the upper margins, left margins, just covered in doodles. So I went to Northern Illinois University to become an illustrator and be like Lisa Frank. And so my doodle habit got out of control by then. I was just like, even 20 years later, still doodling all over the place. And I was looking at the doodles, but not finding a way to monetize with them. Do you know any professional doodlers? No. So one day I realized that I was actually doodling messages. I was channeling things while I was mindlessly doodling, and here's an example. So I have an iPad. It's my favorite toy since last year on my 40th birthday. So the first thing that I like to do was use Photoshop and do a screen recording of my doodling process, me doing the whole thing. So one day I finished a doodle and I'm like, this looks like the Queen. I was like, so I went to Google. I found this picture of her, just trying to find if the likeness was close. Now, I also don't watch the news or TV or anything like that, so I realized that she was all over the news that day because her husband had died. And I had no idea. So I was like, wow, that's a coincidence, you know? How did I draw her like this? And so I decided to pull some tarot cards. And can you press play on this movie, or how do I do that? Hit next. Okay. I made a TikTok video.
Today I channeled the Queen in my illustration, and I didn't even know about her husband passing away until she came out and I channeled her likeness. So I pulled some tarot cards, and in the recent past you were dealing with loss just like the Queen, but you know, still looking at who hurt you in the past, and that's really blocking you from achieving that last step before you really reach your goals. And so presently you're just trying to reduce your stress, but in the near future, stay positive, or else it'll be very easy for you to lose your self-esteem or just feel bullied and victimized. So remember the Queen who came out, that even in her role, she deals with loss and hurt and public intimidation, right? So get on with it.
So yes, I decided that I would mix tarot messages with my doodles, and I found that there were messages or correlations, and it was really interesting to me. So I stayed with it. What I found is that we're all vessels. You know, we have creative energy flowing through us, and so you don't usually put artistic and psychic ability together, but I found a way to do so, and it's really exciting for me. And so I also like to go to the park and doodle at the park on paper with Sharpies. And one day I was sitting there and this came out. And I don't judge what I'm drawing. I just let one line follow the next. And if it's weird, I'm like, okay, what is this? But, you know, I just finished the piece. And so I'm looking at this and I'm like, that looks weird, but okay. So I go home. The next day, though, I was looking at TikTok and found this.
Do you guys want to know what the most feared and dangerous alien race is in the Milky Way? This one kind of freaked me out. They're known as a Gnomopo. They're from a planet called Nigamuk in the Antari system. They're noted around the world by so many people. They're called the same name and they're depicted completely the same. They're not part of the reptilian agenda because the reptilians are actually afraid of them. They aren't part of the Galactic Federation because their agenda is unknown. And they aren't genetically related to any species in our universe. So they're unique in every way possible. The Galactic Federation is actually trying to win their alliance because they have the power to wipe the reptilians off the face of all existence. They lay eggs and they're not very good warriors, but they are very skilled in mind control. If the Galactic Federation could actually win these beings' alliance, we could change the whole universe and even our planet. Let's just hope we can make an agreement with these beings.
So I'm looking at this, I pulled it back out and was just amazed to see that all of these different drawings, like my drawing contains a little bit of each of that in it. And like I said, I was at the park, the next day I see that. And so it was more than a coincidence at this point. It was like, wow, I'm really channeling things. And so I felt a sense of importance, like I should spread this message to people. You know, it obviously is a cosmic message or something. So I was trying to figure out, is it my higher or future self or my subconscious, my ancestors, my spirit guides, or aliens? Like, what is this? I still don't know the answer to that. But how many of you believe that you have creative talent or have spiritual gifts to share. That was more hands than I was expecting to see, and I'm really happy because all your hands need to be raised. We all have these talents, and we just need to tap in. And with that, I want you to all know that you rock. I think you rock, all of you. And I would like to bring this out of you if it's dormant, if you're really interested in exploring that and seeing more of my doodles and things like that, then I invite you to Art Worth Sharing, my art club. Thank you so much.
Shanelle Powell. Woo! It has been an amazing wait, hold on. Okay. It has been an amazing journey, not only on your end, but I think from the audiences on all of our end, watching you grow and change through your growth. And it's so interesting how you changed up your hair a little bit, and you changed up your hair, you let your heart out even more, you unleashed yourself. You are evolved into the woman that God has meant you to be.